Support for the Anything Show with Jean-Francois comes from our friends at Imagine Golf, the #1 golf app for the mental game. Now, if you don't know, golf is a head game. 90% of golfers never put any time into improving this aspect of their performance, and it shows. So this is where Imagine Golf steps in, and trust me, they got the reputation to prove it. With over 200,000 downloads, over 3,000 5-star reviews, a 4.9-star App Store rating, and over 350 snackable audio lessons, visualizations, and drills. Let me tell you, it's easy to start working on your mental game today. And you need to tune in on the app to the Imagine Golf giveaway show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for a chance to win some awesome prizes. In fact, the recent winner won her choice of 30 by 20 print from the library of Gary Lisbon Golf Photography. So, if you're a golf enthusiast looking to apply your noggin to the game, download the Imagine Golf app today, because imagine what's possible.
All right.
From the Big Heavy World Studios in Burlington, Vermont, this is The Anything Show with Jean-Francois. I hope you know what you're in for.
All right, here we go. It's Saturday, March 13th. Jean-Francois here at the Big Heavy World Studios in Burlington, Vermont. My partner in crime, Main Squeeze Mary, calling in from where? Newport, Mary? Newport?
Indeed.
Oh, my God, I had your mic off. Say that one more time.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, her apartment in Newport, Vermont. Yes. And we got a great show coming up for you. A very packed show, actually. Later on, I'll be speaking with divorce recovery specialist Wendy Sterling. I'll have a chat with actor Chris Lowell about the rape revenge thriller movie he's in, that's getting all the critical and awards buzz. It's called Promising Young Woman. For our viral videos of the week, if we have time, we're going to hear rap music at the Catholic Church, Mary. I hope that excites you.
Oh, boy.
I know. For our Ask Anything segment, we're going to ask you what food you cannot live without. And, oh my God, we have a winner, a randomly selected winner of a $100 gift card and an Anything Show with Jean-Francois shot glass and keychain. Also, for our headlines, we're going to get into a new reason why a man's firmness will not go away. I hope you're surprised by this, Mary. But listen to The Anything Show with Jean-Francois on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Like and follow us on Facebook.com/The Anything Show. And on Instagram at Anything Show Francois. That's Anything Show FRANCOIS. And like I said, shot glasses and keychains are available. You can DM me on Facebook and Instagram for more information if you are interested. Okay, Mary, shall we get to our headlines?
Yes, please.
Yay! Alrighty. Mary, like I said, men have enough problems in this world, and one of them is just they have a party in their pants that just won't go away. And now we have another reason to blame for it. It's not just Viagra, but apparently this is part of COVID. There's a rare complication of COVID that some men have, which includes, their little member standing at attention will just not go away. Now, doctors believe it's a side effect of the blood clots that can happen to people with the virus.
What side effects do you not get from COVID?
I know.
It just keeps coming up with different things. They're like, oh, now we found out that people with COVID can actually fly or disappear. Like, what?
It's just insane. Now, my question is, if a man and his wife both have COVID and the man has a firmness problem down there, Mary, do you think it's safe for the COVID man to ask his COVID wife to help him take care of this problem? Or is it going to be just like a situation of just having extra COVID because you have COVID plus COVID equals... Yeah.
I mean, if you have COVID, chances are you're feeling pretty terrible anyways.
All right.
And probably are not interested in doing that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I'm not sure.
Do not underestimate the sex drive of the man, I mean, there could be like a war in Syria going on right now, but if the man is excited, he's like, hey, forget those Syrians. Let me just take care. Let's take care of this Syrian inside my pants right now.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Speaking of COVID, here's one way to try to stop college kids from traveling to spring break and bringing COVID back to campus. It is spring break time, Mary, and the University of California, they're offering to pay 500 students $75 to not go on spring break and to stay in town. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
$75? Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. I mean, $75. I don't even. I mean, I could buy like maybe a meal at a French restaurant with that kind of money, but that's not enough to make me stay home from spring break.
Yeah, no.
Oh, God, put a zero at the end of that $75, and maybe
then.
maybe I'll consider it. Yeah. Mary, this is awful. There are some people out there that want to do anything to get unemployment benefits, and what they're doing, these thieves, they're using 3D printed old person face coverings, a mask, as a way of applying for unemployment benefits. And one security company actually says that these fake 3D printed old person masks are used in 2% of all the new unemployment applications around the country. Now,
seriously?
Yeah. Now, Mary, you have a dose of evil in you. Would you actually do this?
No, because that's highly illegal and probably would be considered fraud, and I don't want to go to prison.
But you gotta admit, it is a clever idea. Like, I wouldn't have thought of it.
Not really. You don't have, you're trying to trick the government. You might be able to do it for a little bit, but they're gonna catch up with you.
Now,
and you're gonna go down.
But what has the government ever done for me besides give me very helpful unemployment money this past year because I got a pay cut from my job? What has the government done for me besides that?
I mean, I don't know, but I still wouldn't do that. That's just no.
Okay.
That's just dumb.
Fine. Well, Mary, this is our next headline. Would you want hand sanitizer sprayed on you as if you were being sprayed with a hose of water in the summertime in a bathing suit?
No, but funny story. One time a few years ago when I was working at the vet's office, I accidentally got sprayed in the eye with rubbing alcohol.
Ooh, that is insane. So maybe you'll have that if you go to like a game for the Milwaukee Bucks. Because right now, I mean, they say the pandemic is going to, probably mean the end of the kiss cam at sporting events. You know that camera where it's on you.
Oh, the kiss cam.
Yeah. And you have to kiss the person next to you. And it turns out to be like some creepy old man. So... It's disgusting. So it's hard to obviously kiss somebody with a mask on. So here's one alternative that the Milwaukee Bucks are doing in their stadium. They've recently replaced the kiss cam with a hand sanitizer cam. So now it just looks like, I mean, there's this cartoon hand sanitizer and it's just spraying hand sanitizer all over people. And right. And just like, the danger of you having rubbing alcohol in your eye, I was thinking to myself, wow, okay, yeah, it's totally okay to give the impression that you're just spraying people with this non-drinkable alcoholic chemical thing, Oh, God. Hey, Mary, when you walk past people this past year and you're thinking to yourself, oh, my God, they may have COVID. I have to hold my breath. Have you ever thought that?
Basically my mom.
Okay, well, your mom is probably part of this study here because several experts have...
I would be surprised.
Right, yeah. Several experts have actually weighed in to the question of, if holding your breath when you walk past people is going to help you avoid COVID. And they actually say it's possible, so you might as well keep doing it. So if your mom wants to sacrifice a lot of her oxygen just for the chance of not having COVID, then there you go. Oh, boy. Hey, Mary, what the hell am I doing? What do I want to do next? Oh, yeah. So this past week, I know you probably don't care about this, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they've had quite a week. Have you?
I've heard all about it.
Yeah. So they had the big interview with Oprah Winfrey, the primetime special. Hey, thanks, Bob. I had to say goodbye to a guy in the studio, Mary. Don't mind that. But yeah, so they had the big primetime special with Oprah on Sunday, March 7th, whatever it was. And did you hear that, the big shocker stuff about like how Meghan insinuated that someone in the royal family was concerned about her baby's skin color? Because Meghan
Yes, but she wouldn't say who because it would ruin that person's life.
Yeah, well, we know it's not Queen Elizabeth or Prince Philip. They wanted to make clear. So clearly Queen Elizabeth or Prince Philip have a gun to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's head right now.
They're like, it is not these people. I repeat, these people did not quote, say this.
Yeah, they're giving those clear vocal cues. Hello, wink, wink. It is not Queen Elizabeth. She totally is not racist. Oh, boy. And hey, Prince William, Prince Harry's brother, was actually approached by a reporter the other day, and he was asked, of course, by the reporter if the royal family is racist. So this is what Prince William had to say.
Sir, have you spoken to your brother since the interview?
No, I haven't spoken yet, but I will do.
And can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
So we're very much not a racist family.
Yes, in his very etiquette British way, Mary, he said the royal family is very much not a racist family. I don't know. Do you buy that?
That's something a racist family would say.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of one of the debates that Donald Trump and Joe Biden had, where Donald Trump was bragging about how he was the least racist person ever. Remember that moment?
Yes.
And I was just thinking, like, okay, Trump, you know that
he's a little bit racist.
Yeah, exactly. You're just basically saying you're not as racist as a super major racist. That's
Still racist, just not mega racist.
Exactly. Just say you're not racist, Trump. That'll solve your problems.
Yeah, you're not just like, I'm not that racist. I'm the least racist person.
Yeah.
That still implies that you're a little bit racist.
Yeah. Well, anywho, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a lot of stuff coming from that interview. The whole race thing with Archie's skin color. That's Meghan's baby, and then also Meghan saying that she even contemplated suicide. So yeah, check out that interview with Oprah, because I thought it was just going to be like, oh, whatever, like they're just doing clickbait and it's really not going to be shocking stuff. But yeah, if you're talking about the royal family being racist and, you want to kill yourself, Meghan, I mean, yeah, that's enough to get anybody's attention. So. All righty. Oh, and speaking of which, last week, I totally forgot, Mary. Last week, I interviewed a London reporter, Omid Scobie, who co-wrote a book about, the tell-all unknown details about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So if you guys want to listen to that interview and find out about Harry and Meghan and Oprah and all that stuff, just look for our recent episode, The Waffle Hickey, on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts for the Anything Show with John Francois. Now, to close out our headlines, Mary, do you remember the beloved cartoon character from Looney Tunes, Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, I never really watched it, but I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah, so Pepe Le Pew, if you don't know, for those listening, he's a skunk that was very known for being very pervy, very like, oh, yes, come on, sugar. And a writer actually accused Pepe Le Pew of adding to rape culture. And here are some points that he made. Pepe Le Pew, 1, grabs, kisses a girl who's a stranger repeatedly without consent and against her will. 2, she struggles mightily to get away from him, but he won't release her. And 3, he locks a door to prevent her from escaping. So, Mary, I have a clip of Pepe Le Pew, and this really just changed my perspective on Pepe Le Pew, to be honest with you.
Oh, the adoration. Oh, the je vous adore. Le je t'aime à vous, c'est ma sugar, n'est-ce pas? You are my peanut. I am your brittle.
So, okay, I have to admit, as a kid and sort of maybe as a teenager-ish, like I was watching that cartoon and I laughed my butt off because I just thought, hey, he's just being a ridiculous Frenchman. And Frenchmen, the stereotype, Mary, of Frenchmen is that they're just like, they're always hot and heavy, like,
yeah, right.
Mademoiselle, let me be your croissant, that kind of thing. But, thank you, cancel culture, for ruining Pepe Le Pew for me, because now I look at him and I'm like, oh, yeah. the woman is not interested, and he just keeps on lingering after her. So
He just doesn't care.
yeah, so now I can't enjoy Pepe Le Pew anymore thanks to cancel culture.
How rude.
Oh, God, it's insane. But what do you think? I mean, do you think that Pepe Le Pew should be canceled, or do you think it's just like, no?
I mean, it's a little rapey.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Rapey vibes.
Is there really a such thing as a little rapey, Mary? Like, it's mediocrely, it's medium-sized rapey, not large.
It's just like it's a little racist.
Yeah. Like, it's a little, it's supersized racist, but not quite racist. It's like a little small, tingy-wingy racist or rapey. Oh, God.
I mean, is he like that in every single episode? Maybe they could just take away those certain episodes. I don't know.
I mean, you're taking away the character because Pepe Le Pew, I mean, he's literally the stereotype of the horny Frenchman. So if you take away...
He's just horny all the time.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
but I feel like that shouldn't even be a kid's show to begin with, like a horny animal. Like, why was that even a thing?
I don't know. And why is he a skunk? You know what I mean? I guess because like he's a skunk, so it's really nasty and stinky that he's being this pervy to women. Maybe that's the context. I don't know.
I don't know.
We could overanalyze Pepe Le Pew all we want, but we're not going to because that's the end of our headline segment on the Anything Show. Alrighty, if you have a headline you want to send over to me and Main Squeeze Mary, Facebook.com/The Anything Show. You can always hit us up at Instagram at Anything Show Francois. That's at Anything Show FRANCOIS. John Francois here with Main Squeeze Mary. We really need to get to the listener and the answers that matter to them and to us. It's time for Ask Anything. Alrighty, Mary, this is special because not only are we going to ask a question and read the listeners' responses, but one randomly responded listener is going to win a $100 gift card and an Anything Show shot glass and keychain. It's going to be
exciting. Oh boy, I'm so excited for whoever it's going to be.
I know. Well, first off, here's the question for Ask Anything this week. What food you cannot live without? This is a question that I put up on my personal Facebook page. Follow me, John Francois, Jon, last name FRANCOIS, for those Ask Anything questions. What food can you not live without? Mary, tell me the food you cannot live without.
Definitely 100% my mom's pot roast.
Ooh, now what about the pot?
Not just any pot roast. My mom's pot roast.
Okay. Now, what's so special about your mom's pot roast that's addicting that you just cannot live without?
Because she makes it the best.
Oh,
I don't know. It's just better.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that if I go for like some canned Dinty Moore pot roast, that's going to be it's going to be skunky trash compared to your mom's pot roast.
I mean, it's hard to mess up pot roast unless like you don't cook the meat enough and it's like not tender.
Yeah.
But I think that's what really makes it good is she like cooks it so it's like super like falling apart in your mouth.
All right. Now have I tasted your mom's pot roast? I think I have when I've gone over to your house for dinner. Maybe?
You may have.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of dishes that you've tasted.
Yeah, because your mom likes to spoil me like I'm our own son. I love it.
And you like to mooch off of her.
Yes, because, I mean, hey, my mom is 3 hours away from me in Connecticut. So while I'm here in Vermont, your mom is my substitute mom.
Yeah, substitute mom. Just like I'm the substitute teacher now.
Yay! Yes, Mary has a substitute teaching job. Okay, what the heck were we talking about? Oh yeah, the food you cannot live without. So let's run through them. Sarah says ice cream. Lisa says shrimp. Nathan says meat. Carrie says cheese. Zach says eggs. Skylar says cheese. Faith says chocolate. Alyssa says chocolate. Melissa pizza. Melissa, another Melissa, pasta. Jesse Locks says chicken wings. Catherine says cheese. AC says stir fry. Adam says avocado. Haley says Alfredo and ice cream. Diane, a bacon cheeseburger. Yum. Cammie says avocado toast. Wow, someone clearly is trying to be healthy and condescending to us.
You know, I've tried avocado toast before, and let me tell you what, it is nothing to write home about.
Okay. Well, we just made Cammie feel bad about herself. Cammie, Cammie, we apologize. You love your avocado toast, and we respect that.
I'm just saying.
All righty. Elizabeth says bread. Jessica says veggie burgers. Johnny says Chinese food. Ann says meat and potatoes. Craig says cheese. Jay says rice and eggs. Simone says she won't give up a cup of coffee in the AM, even though that's not really a food. Maria says smoked salmon. Terry says the White Castle chain of fast food restaurants, of course.
The whole restaurant.
Yeah, just the entire restaurant. Yeah, Terry just has the stomach for it. He must weigh like 5,000 pounds. I love you, Terry. Swallow me so I can go inside your 5,000-pound stomach.
Whoa.
I know.
Alrighty then.
Hey, I want an adventure. I do want an adventure. I'm sure Terry is not 5,000 pounds, but if he was, that would be great.
Oh my goodness.
I know, Mary. I'm the worst. But you know what? I'm giving away free money in a moment, so I'm going to be the best in just a moment, okay?
Okay.
Allie says feta pasta. Heather says chicken. Linda says fruit. Wow. David says potatoes and chicken. Felicia says crepes. Cindy says cheeseburgers. Justin says scones. Ashley says butter. Allie says cheese. Cassandra, McDonald's fries. Stephanie, bread. Jennifer, corned beef and cabbage. We're almost done, I promise. I know I'm making everybody hungry listening, but we're almost done. Russell, beef. Patty Mexican, Kathleen cheese, and finally, John, a fellow John, Jon, says he loves himself some sausage and egg breakfast. Alrighty, Mary.
All right. Mostly good answers.
So out of these 48 responders, Mary, only one lucky winner is going to win an Anything Show shot glass and keychain and a $100 gift card. Shall we do a drum roll?
Yes. Let's find out who it is.
Okay, let's do it. Congratulations to J.A. Pastor! Boing, 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 boing. J.A. Pastor, you are the randomly selected Facebook responder to our Ask Anything question. You have won yourself a, what is it? What does he win? Oh, yeah, $100 cash gift card and an Anything Show shot glass and keychain. Yay, Jay! I'm going to message you, Jay, in case you don't get the message on the air, and we'll send that stuff over to you. I think he lives in Florida right now. Funny story.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, right, yeah. I know, the home of COVID, yeah. So he'll have his money.
Wait, so what was his answer again?
Oh, so Jay said, where the heck is Jay's response? Jay, oh yeah, rice and eggs. Obviously not together unless it's fried rice. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it sounds a little hibachi restaurant-ish to me. I like that, Jay.
I like it.
I like it too. All right, well, Jay, your $100 gift card and your Anything Show shot glass and keychain on the way. Again, shot glasses and keychains are available if you DM me on Facebook.com/The Anything Show or Instagram at Anything Show Francois. That's at Anything Show FRANCOIS. And your next chance at a $100 gift card with the free shot glass and keychain coming up next month right here on The Anything Show with John Francois. Oh, man. Don't you just wish you could rig the contest and win the $100 yourself, Mary?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, boy. I wish too. But that's not how the way... That's not the way life works. I'm sorry. That's not the way life works.
I know.
Okay. Well, Mary, I really wanted to get to Let's Get Viral, but we only have like 2 minutes left until we get to our interview, our first of 2 interviews. So, unfortunately, we'll have to push Let's Get Viral to next week.
Oh, that's okay. I think we'll survive.
Yeah, we will. But you know what, Mary? What we learned today is that Pepe Le Pew is just a little rapey, and someone won $100. So there you go. Our time was not wasted.
And the royal family is definitely 100% not racist.
Yeah! I know. Yay to a non-racist royal family and a sort of rapey Pepe Le Pew. Okay. Hey, well, you know what, Mary, I gotta tell you, what the heck is what are we doing right now? By the way, what's the interview that's coming up first? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of stuff. So, Mary, have you ever heard of this movie called Promising Young Woman?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so it has been called a Me Too rape revenge thriller. Basically, this woman, she pretends to be drunk in bars so that guys can take her home. Yeah. So that guys can take her home. And once they're trying to take advantage of her while she's drunk, boom, she's sober and she has whatever revenge that she has because she's trying to avenge her best friend who is a victim of rape. So it sounds serious, but it's actually like a comedic thriller, and it's getting all the buzz with the critics and with all the awards, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, all that stuff. And I'm talking with one of the actors in the movie, Chris Lowell, from this movie, Promising Young Woman. So definitely check it out when you have the time, Mary. And
cool, sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. Oh my God, rape is a really heavy theme in this show. Unfortunately, I don't know why.
Unfortunately, but
okay, Mary, it was a pleasure, and I'm gonna see you next week.
Oh
no.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, you know what? You let me know in advance, and we'll always work around your schedule if I can. Okay.
All right. I'm pretty sure next week will do, though.
All righty. Chris Lowell, the actor. My conversation with him coming up right now.
Every week, I go to a club. I act like I'm too drunk to stand. And every week, a nice guy comes over to see if I'm okay.
You okay?
You are so pretty. I am a nice guy.
Are you?
1, 2, 3, 4. I thought we had a connection.
Okay. How old am I? What are my hobbies? What's my name? Sorry, maybe that one's too hard.
Hey, this is John Francois right here on The Anything Show, and I am here with Chris Lowell, a television and film actor with many credits under his belt. You've seen him in shows like Glow, Veronica Mars, Private Practice, Graves, movies like The Help, Up in the Air. Chris recently appeared in Emerald Fennell's feature film Promising Young Woman opposite Carey Mulligan, which is available on digital now and on Blu-ray and DVD starting Tuesday the 16th. As we're recording right now on Friday, March 12th. Hey, Chris, thank you for being on The Anything Show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes. All right. Well, hey, starting off, let's hear the story behind Promising Young Woman. I want to know what your role is, what attracted you to the project. Give me that fun stuff.
Yeah, so the premise of the film is Carey Mulligan plays this character, Cassie, who is, described as a promising young woman. She has a lot of potential to go on and do amazing things with her life. And she essentially halts all of those ambitions to become this sort of avenging angel figure to right the wrongs of some horrible things that happened to her in her past. And it's an extraordinarily genre-bending, loud, saturated, colorful, pop, crazy revenge film that I think also is like the year's biggest conversation starter about a host of issues, but very much a lot of kind of what has been born out of the Me Too movement.
Yeah, I was going to say that, well, first of all, I hope I'm not spoiling the film too much, but I love how the lead character goes about avenging her friend who is a victim of rape. She goes to bars, pretends to be drunk so guys can take advantage of her. And once they're about to make their move, boom, she surprises them with her sobriety. And that's when the revenge starts. So you're saying that's writer-director Emerald Fennell, like when he was writing the script, he specifically had this, stance against sexual harassment in Hollywood that we've been seeing for the last years.
Yeah, she Emerald's a lady.
All right.
And she definitely had this stance. Yeah, I think this was a film that was, she wrote this and conceived of this prior to Me Too, but they certainly are, speaking to the same issues. And yeah, I think what's so interesting about the film in so many ways is, being a film that's dealing with sexual assaults and vengeance as a result of it seems like it would be extraordinarily heavy. And there are definitely moments of major gravitas throughout the film, but it's also filled with this crazy levity that I think is born out of seeing jokes that we've seen in movies in our culture for decades. But when you see it in the context of this storyline, it's very disquieting, and it really kind of makes you I think part of the fun of watching the movie is watching all these sort of self-declared nice guys squirm when they're kind of having to face their own behavior.
And I wonder how you, as a guy,
how I felt acting in it or watching it.
Both actually, both acting in it and watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think for me, I definitely when I read the script, it reminded me so much of watching Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh, those back and forth questions, and sort of a lot of the ways that we protect people who are accused, whether that's by saying things like, "It was years ago, look how good of a person they are now," or "we were just kids." There's a lot of that language that's used in this film as well to kind of justify these behaviors. And there was something I really liked reading it about just shining a light on the way that we hide behind these excuses for behavior that is traumatizing to people. Maybe not us, maybe not the person being accused, but certainly the victims of assault are. This is something. These are scars that are carried for the rest of their lives. And so from an acting standpoint, I really loved the challenge of it. I show up essentially at the climax of the film, and it's intense. It's a a two-hander scene that goes on for 12 minutes between me and Carey Mulligan, and that's like a daunting task to take on, but also a really exciting one. Just from an acting standpoint, just to get in there and spar with like a great actor it's like part of the reason you do it. And in terms of seeing it, it's definitely, I don't think Emerald's goal in this film is to make the audience comfortable. I mean, she definitely is challenging the viewer to really confront a lot of hot button issues. I mean, I don't think you can see this film and not have an opinion about it. Put it that way.
I welcome you to brag about the positive response that the film has received, because it was, I believe, released in theaters back on Christmas. And ever since then, it's just been crazy how much people have loved this film. Rotten Tomatoes, you guys have award nominations. I mean, how do you feel about that? Tell me about that positive response.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This film is taking a lot of swings, which is something I always love about good filmmaking. But oftentimes those swings don't, those are a myth. And I think this really, Emerald is doing so many different things here and firing on all cylinders. And I think she really sticks the landing. And I love that it's gotten the response that it has. I think people really, oftentimes with like awards films, it can feel like homework to watch sometimes, because oftentimes the movies maybe move at a slower pace or they're asking a little bit more of their audience. And this is a very easy movie to watch. I mean, I would challenge anybody to watch this film, and if they're bored after the first 10 minutes, they can turn it off, but you won't be. It pulls you in from the moment it starts, and it does not let you go until the credits are rolling. Yeah. And you have to like pick your jaw off the floor.
Yeah, I bet. And I loved what one critic from IndieWire wrote about the movie, saying that it's a Me Too rape revenge thriller with bite. Like if there's anything that's going to get your attention, it's quotes like that. You guys have been nominated for Golden Globes. I know that you recently won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Actress for Carey Mulligan and Best Original Screenplay, I believe, for Emerald Fennell.
For Emerald, yeah.
Yeah. And as we're recording this on Friday, March 12th, the Oscar nominations announced on Monday, March 15th. Do you think Promising Young Woman is going to make itself known at the Oscar nominations?
I don't see how it couldn't. I think the movie is too significant, the content of it, the themes behind it, and then the writing. Again, I mean, what Emerald did with this script, you will literally watch every scene in this film and you will think you know where it is going, and it never goes where you think it's headed. And that's part of what is just so incredible about the writing. And then when you see, and then Carey Mulligan, who's, an incredible actor, she is working her frickin' ass off in this movie, and it's amazing to watch. I mean, she really delivers a powerhouse, very unforgettable experience, and I think is worthy of a nomination.
Chris Lowell, it was a pleasure having you on the Anything Show, and continued best of luck with your career, and of course with the success of this movie.
Thank you so much, my friend. You have a good one.
I gotta say big thanks to our friends at Amaction Golf for supporting the Anything Show with Jean-Francois. Amaction Golf, if you don't know, is the #1 app for the mental game. This app has 200,000 downloads, over 3,000 5-star reviews, and a 4.9 star rating in the App Store. They got the Drive. This is a snackable 3-minute audio lesson to help you think and play better. Amaction Golf releases a new audio class daily that spotlights the big ideas from best-selling golf books such as Harvey Pennick's Little Red Book, Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons, How I Play Golf by the King himself, Tiger Woods, and Don't Choke by Gary Player. You can listen for weekly and monthly giveaways from top golf brands. I personally am a big fan of the Amaction Golf Giveaway Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so stay tuned for that. And if you're saying to yourself, all right, John, come on, what's the point? How much do I have to pay for this? Good news. Amaction Golf is going to start you off with a 7-day free trial with absolutely no commitment. Hey, if you don't believe me, take it from this testimonial I just checked out. Quote, Amaction Golf's daily 3-minute affirmations have helped me become more positive about my game. I have lowered my handicap 6 strokes over the past 6 months. End quote. Amaction Golf, they are different. They make you focused on the mental game. They're snackable, just 3 minutes a day, and it's all audio so you can listen on the go. Amaction Golf. Download the app today and keep imagining what's possible.
You're craving to know who you are and to find and actually see your own reflection in the mirror again. So what I do is help you move through that pain and through the fears around your divorce more quickly than if you do it alone.
Hey, it's the Anything Show. I'm Jean-Francois here, based in cold, snowy Vermont and based in very not cold and snowy California. I think it's still sunny out there, isn't it, Wendy?
It is. It's a sunny 70-degree day today.
Nice. Yes. Sunny Los Angeles, California, although it might not seem so sunny because California is under lockdown. So Wendy Sterling is my guest. She is the leading divorce recovery specialist and founder of the Divorce Rehab. Wendy helps divorced women go from I do to I did to I'm done and confidently create a roadmap they design for what's next. Wendy, thank you so much for being on the show with me.
Of course. Thank you so much for reaching out and inviting me to be a guest.
Absolutely. All right. I want to know how you decided to make a career out of what a lot of people would say is an emotionally exhausting experience. Like you started from being an ad sales executive, and then how did that go from that to being a divorce recovery specialist? Take me through your journey.
Yeah, so, I get that question quite a bit, understandably so. About 4.5 years ago, I was leading the Facebook facade of The Perfect Life and, was married and, had 2 boys. I was at the height of my digital ad sales career, working for some top female lifestyle brands. My husband at the time, very successful attorney. And it was that fateful night where my entire world came crashing down around me when I unexpectedly discovered that he was having an affair. And it was one of those moments where I felt a punch in my gut like never before, and it was my intuition. And it was something that I stopped paying attention to, God, I don't even know how many years before that moment. But in that moment, I knew that I had to start listening. And it was in that moment that I realized that I was living a life on autopilot. I wasn't living for myself we had been in couples therapy. I was in therapy. I knew we had some issues and some problems in our marriage. And at the same time, I ignored a lot of signs, and I ignored my own true voice, which was I wasn't happy. And so, unfortunately, it came in the form of a wake-up call that the universe woke me up and, basically said to me, Wendy, it's time for you to start paying attention to yourself. And so in that moment, I realized that I had lost my voice. I had lost my identity. And it was something that was terrifying to me because I knew who I was in my career. I knew who I was as a mom. Had a very strong voice. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been as successful as I was in my career. And so, I will never forget the moment where I actually looked in the mirror and had no idea who I was. And after asking my now ex-husband for a divorce, I also decided to leave corporate America because part of that life that I didn't recognize anymore, my career was a big piece of that. I knew, there were pieces of my job that I loved doing. I loved being a mentor. I loved, inspiring my team. I loved, being and presenting up on stages in front of all of my clients. But I was just done being judged by a number. And, when you're in ad sales, that's kind of how it works. And so in that moment, I just decided things had to shift. And lo and behold, I saw a post from a friend on Facebook where she left her lucrative law career and became a career life coach for people looking to transition midlife. And it was in that moment that I realized that there was something better for me. And so little did I know that by talking to her, that I would realize that coaching was actually where I wanted to go, and little did I know that it was going to be something that would change my life forever. So I signed up for the coaching program, and within a matter of 2.5 days, I had worked through more emotions around my divorce than I had the entire year before. And so I knew that there was something special, and at the time I hadn't really heard of anyone doing the type of work that I required for my own recovery process. And so I decided that that was what my business was going to be, and that was where I was going to go. And so I chronicled my process and married that with the methodology of the coaching program that I am now certified in. And I created my proprietary framework and program, which is called the Divorce Rehab. And it is now, become something that I have now, been working on for the last couple of years. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people navigate wherever it is that they are so that they can start standing in their power. So ultimately, I believe that divorce can be the most empowering experience that anyone goes through, to start finding and seeing and owning their identity and voice so that they can design a life that they choose and love instead of feeling stuck with the one that they have. So helping them heal from divorce is what I do, and really instilling in them that power of self and voice is who I am. So that's my journey in a nutshell.
For this divorce rehab program that you've developed, what are the steps that you commonly tell your clients to make in order to get to that point where they do feel positively empowered to, have their own life?
Yeah, so rehab is actually an acronym. So the R is the 5 steps are rehab. So the R is about rediscovering and reclaiming your identity and voice. The E is to end your pity party and victim mentality. The H is to heal your wounds and mourn all of the losses associated with your marriage ending. A is about finding acceptance for where you are, who you are, and what is next. And then the B is really building the foundation from which your next best chapter gets to be created from. So those are the steps. The way in which I have the program organized is in 2 different ways. You can either go through it with that high-level one-on-one attention from me through private coaching, or I also have the program broken down in a group format that my team runs, and people can also engage in the program that way.
Now, I'd imagine working with your clients, you have to, listen to these stories of divorce and how did it happen and where do I go from here? And I wonder, as someone who yourself has gone through a divorce, does it take an emotional toll on you to hear these stories? Or do you become personally attached to your clients' stories like this? Because, I don't know. If I were in your position, I probably would be, because it's a lot, I bet.
It's interesting. I think that, I've learned how to separate their emotions from my own. They're definitely, I think it's kind of an interesting answer, to be honest with you, because, in the beginning, it definitely triggered me a couple of stories. But what it helped me to understand is who it is that I'm best suited to help. So I know who my target audience is. I know the types of situations that I am able to support people in. And through the work that I do with them, life coaching is really all about focusing forward. That was why therapy was not working for me in the fullest way possible, because all I kept doing was revisiting my past and revisiting my stories. And what I do as a coach is really get my clients leaning into the vision of the life that they want. It's not that we don't handle and move through the emotions that come up that are associated with the marriage ending, but really everything I do is rooted in what is possible and them seeing new perspectives on what their life gets to look like. So that enables me to really be able to not internalize what comes up. My clients also know that when I hear them starting to get into story, or I hear them starting to talk about the past, I remind them about where they are now. So therapists are really, the ones who spend a lot of time in the storytelling in the past, and that's not what I focus on. And my clients are very clear on that and actually appreciate it. But that's not to say that I don't hold space. All of my clients know I take a very, I always tell them that when they invest in themselves, I'm investing tenfold in them and in their futures and in where I want them to go. I also believe that I'm kind of like their mama bird. Like, I'm the one that's like pushing them out of the nest, like, go fly, go fly, go fly. And so, and the way that I kind of refer to myself is that, I'm the kick in the ass that everybody knows that they need, but they can't give themselves. And that's the stand that I get to take for my clients. So I find it to be very empowering, and at the end of every call, no matter how my clients show up, there is a release of tension, there is a release of anxiety, and they feel like they're taking a step, if not more, forward.
Wow. Now, working in commercial radio, I have to often look at content, a variety of content online for things to talk about. And I've often read these studies in the past year about divorce rates going up because, couples have been stuck inside the house and they realized, oh my God, we have problems and we have no choice but to face them head on and this and that. So I wonder, because you're a divorce recovery specialist, has that affected your business in, I guess, a positive way? Have you seen business rise in the past year because of all these discoveries?
Yes, I have. And, I have to say that I don't think it's that all of a sudden these couples are discovering, we can't live together. I think it's that the issues that they were sweeping under the rug can't be swept under the rug anymore, and they're just materializing. And, I will also say that there's couples where, I've also sent people back to their spouses. So, I'm not pro-divorce. I am very much pro-happy, peace, love. But it's really about what is in their best interest, and also with COVID and, being forced to stay home with one another, there are certain aspects that can be worked through. There's others that cannot. But unfortunately, I would say the majority of my clients are dealing with infidelity. Some of the ones that I do work with are the ones who have been the ones who have cheated. So I have clients across the board. I have clients that have, narcissistic spouses as well, those characteristics tend to exacerbate as well when you're living under the same roof. So again, I think it's just because you can't sweep it under the rug anymore, that everything is just out there in front of you. And it's not like you can escape and go to work, or one or the other, the other co-parent goes to work. It's all contained, and it's rising. I think the latest statistic I saw is that, their divorce rates are up 34%, and they were already close to 50%. So, yeah, it's been an interesting year. And to be honest, it's enabled me to also provide more free content, to support more people going through this. I'm part of an amazing community of divorce professionals where we are all out there collaborating and trying to help people wherever they are, getting them the resources that they need, because it's not something that anybody should be doing by themselves.
Now, is your clientele, is it only women? Am I?
No.
Oh, it's
I have
not.
male clients as well.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So yeah.
I do.
Yeah, because I was reading through your biography, and it seemed like you were primarily for women. So okay, so that's good to know. That's good to know. I wonder then, what's the sort of ratio or percentage with women and men in terms of who's more likely to come and be like, oh my God, my self-esteem has been drained. I need some help. I need some guidance. Have you seen that more with women? Have you seen that more with your male clients? Is there a balance? What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think more women are, just predisposed to look for emotional support. Not a lot of men tend to lean that way.
Yeah.
The way in which I have been introduced to my male clients have actually been through other professionals, where the support that I'm giving my male clients is a little bit different than my female clients. And it's honestly why I only do private coaching with my male clients, because men are not as predisposed to need community the same way that women are. For women, my female clients, there's an underlying community aspect that's tied in. That's not to say that men don't need community as well. It's just that I have found with the male clientele that I have that they prefer privacy, they prefer the one-on-one. And the majority of my clients definitely are women. I mean, I would say probably 80% of my clients are female, and 20% are male.
And for the male clients that have that privacy with you, is that like a strong preference on their end? Are they sort of, do you think maybe there's like a sort of shame in a guy, saying like, oh, I need to split up, this marriage is not going to work?
I think it's more, I think with guys, women are wired to be more emotional. Men are wired to just compartmentalize a lot better. And so I just think that the way in which I coach my male clients, it's just so different than the way I coach my female clients. It's interesting because when I give my male clients sort of feedback or I do provide homework, which it's really meant to get them in practice of, thinking differently. It's like I'm exercising their muscles between sessions, and really it's their brain. But the types of, the types of exercises that I give my male clients tend to be very action-oriented, versus for my female clients, it tends to be more thought-provoking. So it's very different. And it's not to say that men don't have emotions, because the gentlemen that I'm privileged to work with are men who have feelings. They are men who have actually been in verbally abusive marriages with their spouses, and they've been broken down so much that they don't even know, like they're afraid to feel. So it's really about cracking them back open, versus the women are already cracked open, and it's like, let's put you back together. So it's an interesting dichotomy, but I really enjoy both. It's just very different.
Yeah. You're based in Los Angeles. I think it's safe to say that people like myself who are born, bred, have been raised, and have lived in the Northeast all of their life tend to have a very, let's say, narrow-minded view of what Los Angeles are like. And I mean, I don't know. I got to imagine that, you know, since that's like where show business is, and we all know about show business marriages lasting like a day. I don't know. I just have this picture of like, oh my God, Wendy must be like making bank out there in Los Angeles. People must be getting divorced left and right, like it's the new fashion trend. Like, give me a picture of what the divorce culture is like in Los Angeles.
Well, because my business has always been online, I don't do, you know, I'm not specific to just Los Angeles. I have clients actually all over the world.
Oh,
so that's,
okay.
you know, why I call myself global. So I do have clients, you know, I have clients here. I actually have clients in the Bay Area. I have clients in the Midwest, back east, Canada. So, you know, the lens of Los Angeles, you know, I agree with you. I mean, you know, the first thing you think is, oh, Hollywood divorces. You know, these glamorous, you know, it's like with, you know, Laura Wasser is, you know, representing, you know, Kim Kardashian right now. So I feel like, you know, now it's all about Kim and Kanye getting divorced, and they're kind of setting a bar for what divorce in LA looks like.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, to be honest with you, it's the same across the country. I mean, when I look at all of my clients all over the globe, everybody is struggling with the same pain points. It's just manifesting differently. It doesn't matter if they're the ones that left. It doesn't matter if they're the ones that, you know, were, you know, disrespected or betrayed. Everybody is struggling with the same emotions, which is what I find so fascinating. They just manifest differently depending upon the circumstances. So nothing is glamorous. Divorce is not glamorous. I mean, we don't go and get married and, you know, one of the classes you take to get married is, you know, oh, just in case you get divorced, here's a class. You know, nobody enters into marriage ever thinking that divorce is on the table. I mean, I remember when I separated from my now ex-husband, I remember going, wait, I'm not the one that gets divorced. I'm not the girl. Like, I don't look like someone who gets divorced. I mean, I just had this whole, like you were painting the picture about the LA divorce. Like, I had this whole image in my mind around what someone who gets divorced look like. I built this entire story. And I was like, wait, but that's not me. You know, I have the nice house. I have the great career. I have the success. My kids are amazing. Like, our families, like, our parents are really close. Like, our parents are still married. Like, this is not my life. And nothing is glamorous. Nobody is, you know, I hate to say it, but, like, you never know. And, you know, I think that it's interesting because when I announced to all of my friends finally, when I got over the shame of it, and I finally told my parents and my friends, I remember wondering, you know, number one, are they even going to talk to me again? And then with some friends, it was like, oh, is this contagious? And all of a sudden, they're all working on their marriages because they're like, well, if, you know, Wendy and you know, my ex-husband can go down this path, oh, my God, because everyone thought we were the perfect couple. So it kind of woke everybody up to say, we should probably do a check-in in our own marriage right now. And listen, if that's the lesson that they get to learn from what is happening, you know, for me, I say, not to me, I say for me, then I'm happy. If I saved my friends' marriages by going through my own divorce, then that's a win-win for me. So, you know, again, I think that, you know, there's perceptions out there, and it's not everything that everyone thinks it is.
Well, Wendy Sterling, the leading divorce recovery specialist and founder of the Divorce Rehab. Now, Wendy, if someone either wants to go to you and see if a divorce is the right choice to make, or if they're just like, you know what, Wendy, I got to up and leave my garbage can of a spouse. Give me some tips on how to get there. How can they reach you?
Yeah, you know, the first place that I would point people is honestly my website. It's wendy@wendysterling.net. You can also email me at wendy@wendysterling.net. I've got some amazing resources, free resources. I'm doing free workshops and classes all the time. I also always offer a free support call. And the reason I do that is because I don't, you don't know what you don't know what you need when you're going through a process like this, and to have somebody listen and to point you in a direction is always super helpful, and it's something I wish that I had. So I always offer a free complimentary 15-minute call. I also have an incredible Facebook group that's called The Divorce Rehab that people can find me, and I'm across all social media on Instagram. Divorce Rehab with Wendy is my name on Instagram. I'm also on Pinterest, LinkedIn. You can find me, Wendy Sterling. And I have my own podcast, which is called the Divorced Woman's Guide Podcast. You can also find me there.
Awesome. All right. Well, Wendy Sterling, we will certainly keep a lookout for you. Thank you so much for being on The Anything Show. And since you are based in California where you cannot do anything, I hope you get to a place where you are able to go out and do something.
Thank you. The same here, let me tell you.
Listen to The Anything Show with John Francois on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. How does John know how to set up podcasts? Is he that? No, he can't be that smart. Follow on Facebook at The Anything Show and on Instagram at Anything Show Francois. Did you get all that?